Welcome everybody to Everything Black. This is Frank Blanton. All right, we finna get another one of those. Thank you. Anyway, tonight we talking about Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk. I always say Charlie Clerk for some reason. But anyway, let's look at some of his racist remarks that just giving everybody the blues. All right, let's look at some of it. Anyway, let's check it out.
Pilot, I'm gonna be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You
No,
wouldn't
and
have done
that's
that
not
before.
not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have
That's
done
not
that
who
before.
I hope they are qualified. I wouldn't think that if the CEO of United or these airlines would reject DEI and say excellence is who's a moronic black woman. I wonder, is she there?
So he basically saying that black people are basically getting whatever jobs they get because of they have to hire so many people of color to be where people don't think their company is racist. So they gotta hire a few, mixed amount of people, a few, like 90 to 10, every 90 white people, you got 10 black people or 10 Hispanics. That's basically what he's saying, which is racist. So everything he just said is racist. So, this is what we're dealing with here with him. So I know you done heard in all the other channels how racist he is, and he was racist. If you go watch his videos, they sound just like this one. And some of them are worse and some of them are better, but it's all racist, right? So I was just noticing, I'm gonna stop sharing him, and we're gonna go share another video that kind of describe how black people feel about him. And I want to know what y'all think about it. You can leave a comment down below on the YouTube channel or the Facebook channel, whatever you watch this on. I want y'all to check out these brothers. This happening in New York, like right now. I mean, like 30 minutes ago or so it happened tonight. Go check it out. I mean, this is how I feel. And I'm pretty sure this is how most black people feel.
Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Racist bastard! Piss on your ashes! Fill your grave! I'll never be a slave! I'll never be a slave! I'll never be a slave! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk! Fuck Charlie Kirk!
And by the way, that's the title to my show tonight. I like what they were doing. I'm really feeling what they're doing, so I'm gonna hit them again. So anyway, we're gonna go on. We'll come back to that. Let me stop sharing. Let me go to my next video. Let's go up here. This video, well, let me go and get this one out the way. This brother here was about the only preacher that I seen talk against him. So I'm gonna let you guys hear what he had to say.
Because they invoke the name of Jesus and quote Bible from the Old Testament. Jesus never had any fruit of the Spirit, never try to live out the Sermon on the Mount. I am overwhelmed, and I don't celebrate anyone's murder. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be murdered. But I'm overwhelmed to see the nation's flag
Dr. Howard John.
So like I said, that was about the only brother. And this YouTube, this StreamYard, this outfit I'm on, I'm probably going to go to another field. I'm tired of this thing messing up like this. Every time I do a show, it stops and mid-show and start all that streaming and crackling, and people are letting me know. So y'all just be aware that I am looking for another stream. I might just go to Zoom and call it a day. I'm gonna try a few more platforms before I, call it a day. But anyway, we're gonna continue here. But this is the only brother that I seen that talked against Charlie Kirk as far as a pastor that actually speaks the truth. You know what I mean? Well, it's a lot of cooners out there. Al Sharpton. I want to say Freddie Haynes, man, and I forget the Jamal Bryant. They Democrats. Of course, they gonna say something, but they're not gonna say anything against the Democrats. You see what I'm saying? It's okay for them to talk about the Republican racism, but they'll never talk about the Democrat racism. All right, they for that. You can't be for one side or the other, because both of them are racist. Both sides are racist. They, the Republicans just put it in your face, dude. The Democrats just hide and laugh and, do their thing. So they both sides are racist. One hide and the other one put it in your face. And I like the ones that put it in your face. At least we know where they stand. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go on over here. We're gonna go down to Chicago. What I do? We're gonna go to Chicago, man. I want y'all to hear this. Chicago mayor, I think he what they call it, cash out or crashed out during a conference. So let's go over and see what happened. There you go, right here. 1 second. Some reporter asked him a question, and if you watch the whole thing, he was ready. I'm gonna go back to where he's got his first question. Let's see, right about here. Okay, here we go.
Thank you all for being here today, and good morning. Let me first just express my condolences to the family of former Governor Edgar. His leadership.
You can see right away that this guy is he's very stressed. Hold on, let me cut this music down a little bit. Just put it off because I want y'all to see it. I want y'all to see this right here. This is very important. I want y'all to see his eyes. Let me move it up a little bit to his first, when they first asked him questions. Let's move it up. Yeah, right about here. Let me get the video to catch up. All right, here we go. Now, right there, the cameraman knows that this guy is frustrated. Let me bag it up. Oh man, let's see, let's go back. We're about here. The cameraman knows. The cameraman knows right here that this man is frustrated. That this man is going, when he starts to talk, he's gonna act a fool. Somewhere in this interview, he know this guy's finna crash out. He knows that from the beginning. And if you watch this whole video, Fair Use YouTube, Facebook, the site that I'm on, the channel that I'm on, Fair Use to all y'all. Yeah, but you know, you eventually you're gonna see that this guy at the end of this, pretty close to the end, he's gonna crash out. He's very frustrated in reading what he just read, which was an executive order that he had put out. It's kind of like a nothing burger, but he put it out anyway. So my main thing of this video is to show you how he's ready. I mean, you can see at the beginning of the press conference how he's looking, how the cameraman is focused in on it. He knows at some point this guy's gonna snap. Okay, so we're gonna show some of the video, and then I'm gonna come back and let y'all critique it. So check it out. I mean, he acts frustrated. I mean, he just read his bill or executive order he's about to sign. And now he's sitting down at a press conference to answer questions. Now, some of the people he liked just asking questions, some of the people he don't like. And you're going to see it when as they ask the question, you're going to see it, right?
Mayor Johnson, we've all seen the horrific video of Irena Zaruska being stabbed in the neck on public transportation. In Chicago, we have countless examples of women being punched in the face, choked out, robbed, abused, murdered by violent repeat offenders.
I mean, look at him. He's like he can't wait to burst out that seat or something. He's having trouble containing himself. Y'all just keep watching.
And your only legislation or in regards to public safety on public transportation is don't smoke. Don't smoke cigarettes. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the women who have been abused by violent repeat offenders in the city of Chicago?
Well, first of all, my community safety plan is far more substantive than just asking people not to smoke. Our investments in community safety have been unprecedented, quite frankly, and public safety will always remain my top priority. Our deputy mayor can speak very cogently about the community safety plan, which is the people's plan. And the ultimate goal is to drive violence down in the city of Chicago, whether it's on a train or in a neighborhood. You know, it again is my top priority to continue to make sure that we're investing in our detectives division as our detectives bureau coordinates and collaborates with our counterintelligence and all of our stakeholders coming together to drive violence down in the city of Chicago, many of them every single day, to make sure that even this form of tyranny that is being promulgated throughout our entire country. And then finally, we are putting forth, again, more stronger executive orders to ensure that there are policies in place to ensure maximum protection for the people of Chicago.
Yeah, let me say this. Trump giving this mayor hell. Trump is giving this mayor hell. He's taking a lot of licks. And he's about ready to explode.
What I'm also grateful for, though, is that the number of people in this city that have come together, that's an effort that's worthwhile investing in. Unfortunately,
oh, shit. See, this is what I'm saying. I'm getting sick and tired of this stuff right here.
Unfortunately, it's been cheapened by this president.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi.
On the executive order, can you kind of specify how this directive to CPD to coordinate with protest organizers is different from current CPD policy? And can you walk through sort of an example of when this policy would come into play?
Well, thank you for that question. Let's look at what happened in Broadview. There's no policy in place. There's no policy in place. This executive order gives a clear order that in the event the federal government tramples on the Constitution, our police department has a responsibility to make sure that we're protecting our democracy. And we saw this happen in Broadview, where from a roof, you had the federal government with armed, less lethal, bullets, but it's still bullets nonetheless. And so this is why this executive order is critical. He has a right to do now under my executive order.
Now, they're going out of their way to make an executive order to protect immigrants, illegal immigrants. Forget undocumented. These people are illegal immigrants, and they done made a law to protect them from the federal government, whose job it is to keep them out. Now, that doesn't make sense. But this is your United States. This is your coonish mayor protecting people who don't belong here, making laws. States are making laws now to protect these people that don't belong, going against their own federal laws. None of that makes sense. Now, no Foundation Black Americans who have been here forever, who built the country, we don't get that kind of protection. We don't get them coming up with just laws just to protect us. That doesn't make sense. But this is, welcome to white supremacy. Welcome to Black mayors who stand with the Democrats to protect people who don't belong. I mean, put their life on the line for the shit. But they don't put their life for the things that really matter, like Foundation Black Americans, getting our reparation money, getting our anti-hate crime, black crime bill passed. Protection, and money that's owed to us. They don't do all that. Well, let's continue.
On the budget task force that you assembled in the report that's out, it recommends increasing property taxes with the rate of inflation, saying the city needs its largest revenue source to keep up with the rate of inflation. Have you had a chance to read through that report, and do you agree with that recommendation?
I have not read through the entire report. As you know, this is a part of a larger package of engagement, whether it's this working group, our community engagement. We've had several community engagement meetings within communities. We have, again, our entire budget working group as well. I don't agree with that particular proposal that the working group has put forward. It's clear to note that the working group fully established that we do not have a spending problem in Chicago. We have a revenue challenge in Chicago. And that's an important conclusion that I believe was necessary for the people of Chicago to hear. And again, to know that we have brought together everyone, different facets of leadership, whether it's the business community, labor, community-based organizations, elected leaders, the neighborhoods themselves. Like, I'm literally taking all of the interests and ideas from a cross section of individuals across our city to ensure.
Like I say, I think this dude has backed himself into a wall. He getting smashed. He's about to lose it. And this, at the end of this video, which I'm finna go ahead and get to, so we can get on, get through with this show here. Right about here, I believe, is where it go down.
They were all very clear that we do not have a spending problem in Chicago. We do not. We have a revenue challenge in this city. And so, there are some ideas that they've put forth that I get a chance to review. For instance, some of we can find more productive ways in which we can administer government, right? So there are some forms of technology that we can use.
See how he's skipping and jumping to different subjects? This man is about to lose it. It's cringeworthy. Y'all keep watching. Let me get it on up here. It's one guy that asks him a question. He just goes in. Let's see. If this the part.
You don't care?
Well, I do care. We have to have a conversation about
No,
it.
I'm talking.
No? No, none.
All right.
Staying in my lane, okay? Let me going back to Broadview. One of the things that I think we saw out of Broadview was the protesters there blocking the ICE agents from coming and going from their facility. Do protesters have a right to prevent the feds from doing their job and coming and going from their facility?
Well, look, this is why this executive order is so critical, right? Because it sets up parameters. Look, I don't have, that particular example that you just raised that has not been brought before me. But again, this is about making sure that in the event the federal government attempts to eliminate the First Amendment right for our folks in Chicago to peacefully be able to assemble, we have now an executive order that specifies what's permitted.
So just to follow up on that, if they were to, for example, block a facility in Chicago, protesters were, and the ICE agents were not able to come and go to do their job, would that be an acceptable form of protest that would be, protected by Chicago police? Or, just so we clarify.
No, just absolutely. Look, there are areas in which the First Amendment can be freely expressed. If someone is in violation of federal law, or if it works outside the parameters of the First Amendment, that's a much different case. But what we're talking about here in Chicago is making sure that the right to be able to peacefully assemble and do that.
The problem he gonna have is those people are illegal, so he can't peacefully do nothing when it's illegal. That's the problem he's having. But he's trying to make it right by putting out this executive order, so you can have specified areas to protest in. You know, yeah, state work, but what you gonna do? Have the police against the National Guard? It ain't gonna work. Let's get on. Let me go further. All right, let's see what he says. Somewhere along here, he gonna snap.
Right, that's the direction that we are. That's where we are now, and we're moving with expediency to ensure that our police department shows up on behalf of the people of this city in an honorable way. What this president is proposing of ICE operation than in the hands of working people. And, you know, it's unfortunate that where they see poverty every single day. They do. You know, they see Chicagoans in too many instances in their worst state. And it's also disingenuous because if he was serious about
I'm trying to get it to the end, y'all. But YouTube.
Compassion and love, but also ran with real structure, right? And so I don't sit around worrying about, you know, the president's tactics. You know, the things that I concern myself with every single day is making sure that people can put food on their table, focusing on every single day. And that's the full force of my administration is doing.
So following up on your alleged pants on fire moment on WBEZ today with my colleague Prosperity.
Yeah, this
and
is right here, yeah.
The ongoing split sentiment as far as what sending in troops to militarized, federalized military rather, to Chicago. The remaining question that has yet to be answered, because y'all keep running from it like I'm Mary and the Illinois Attorney General and the governor have to offer in lieu of sending in the National Guard, the 101st Airborne, or what have you, to make real time outside of unreported reported.
Okay, let me just start with this. How about this?
Let's give him
in 1974, there were 970 murders. Okay. 1995, 2016, 778 murders. 2021, 805 murders. This has been a problem in this city for a very long time. Now, my deputy mayor, Gatewood, this is the topic and the work every single day to drive violence down in the city of Chicago. So when you talk about what we're offering a better pathway so that we don't have 970 people murdered in our city every single year. Now, one is one too many, but you're not going to convince me that the people of Chicago only deserve law enforcement. I get so sick and tired of people believing that the only thing that Black and brown and poor people get to get in this city are badges. People want jobs. It's why we've increased the ability for young people to have jobs in this city. People want healthcare. That's why we've expanded it. People want to be able to afford to live in this city. That's why I'm building more affordable units, wrapped up into this spiral of despair in this city. It's why we're actually solving cases, whether it's CVI workers, making sure that we're avoiding retaliation in this city. I get so sick and tired of people in this country and in this city that believes that
The only thing that you can offer Black people and poor people is jails, incarceration, and Dr. King said this right here in Chicago, the National Conference on New Politics. What did he say? He said, militarism is a sickness. I am trying to eradicate the sickness from this city and from this country. To offer, no, listen, Mark, I get to answer my question now. You've asked it.
There you go.
No, Mark, I've answered my questions.
There you go. StreamYard messing up.
Of course they are, but you're not going to be able to avoid that if we don't do the things that actually work. We are not split on this issue. The fact of the matter is, no one has asked me to send federal troops into this city to make it safe. It has never come up. It never came up during the campaign. It's never come up in the first 2 years. The fact of the matter is, we are driving violence down on this city, and we're using every single resource that's available to us. Jails and incarceration and law enforcement is a sickness that has not led to safe communities. I'm going to work hard every single day to protect the people who are caught up in violence in this city. Guess why? You want to know why? Because the vast majority of them look like me. This president has never asked a very simple question to me, Brandon Scott, Barbara Lee, Randall Woodfin. He doesn't talk to Black mayors about what it's like to live in communities that have been disinvested. The sickness and the evil that Dr. King warned us about a generation ago. It didn't work in 74 when 970 people were being killed. It didn't work in the 90s when no one said a mumbling word about how many people were losing their lives. All of a sudden, everybody has these ideas. They've shown this is a group project, but we're not going to allow the president of the United States of America or any of his ilk look at the work that we're doing across this country, and then now we're experiencing some level of reprieve, and now he wants to put his name on our paper.
So Walter Burnett's potential appointment as CEO of the Chicago Housing Authority is being held up again because the
this reporter right here is getting on this man's nerves. This man's about to lose it. I want to give that dude applause. If I can, my applause button work over here. It's not working. Anyway, I wanted to get a reporter an applause for setting this guy off. It works.
HUD has made an offer that you can't refuse, which is that if you all go ahead and appoint him without sorting out these potential conflicts of interest, that CHA will go into receivership, meaning that you will lose local control of the CHA and it will go to federal control. What do you have to say to respond?
First of all, it's inaccurate information. Second of all, Walter Burnett, the former alderman, he would be one of the few individuals running a housing authority that actually grew up in public housing. The local board has not recognized some of the feedback that has come back as a conflict of interest. We're working through all of those elements and dynamics, and we fully expect that the board will be able to move forward with the former alderman. Thank you for those.
Okay, Monica, go ahead. Mark, we can't. All right, we'll get to that next week. Go ahead, Monica. Thanks.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
President Trump said that an important person in the Chicago business community has asked him to come into the city to save the city. Do you have any conjecture of who this important business person is? And do you feel that the business community in general wants the National Guard here?
No, to both of them.
Okay, so yeah.
No to both of them.
Got it. Okay, next question. The last two times I went to the Bally's temporary casino, the patrons appeared to be primarily low-income Asian Americans who had been bused there on the hour, and low-income African Americans, some who may have and fire pensions. I know you didn't usher in the casino, but is there a way for the city to avoid trying to solve the pension problem on the backs of gamblers who may have the least ability to pay for it?
Yeah, we could tax the rich. We could tax the rich.
But is there anything on the casino front that you can do?
What?
Is there any way to, and there may be, like, you can't stop people from walking into a casino. But
No, listen, this is no judgment. I mean, these aren't activities this is something that I've addressed before I was in public.
What I'm talking about.
To make sure that people are being educated and that the addiction that could come as a result, we've challenged our corporate partners to not just be sensitive, but to be thoughtful in how we engage with participants. But revenue, we should tax the rich.
Let's go to Jake. Hey, man.
Hey.
I want a better idea of what Chicago police would be called upon to do to protect protesters with this executive order. If ICE was shooting pepper balls at protesters in Chicago, what would this executive order have police do?
Well, first of all, the clear establishment of the
I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not even sharing.
direction to the federal government or anybody else.
Switching gears, a colleague told me that just now the City Council's licensing committee has advanced a measure that would legalize video gaming terminals. Where do you stand on?
Over, quite frankly, to help address the critical needs that we face, but in what has been proposed, what has been put forward, I have not seen.
So he crashed out on
where this particular idea maximizes our ability to be able to receive as many dollars as possible.
So you're opposed to Alderman Beal's proposal?
Yes.
All right. So
that we build the safest, most affordable big city in America.
Oh shit. All right, y'all. Let's just go back to this and end the show.
Thank you all for being here today, and good morning.
Oh, man.
Let me first just express my condolences to the family of former Governor Edgar. His leadership leaves a long-lasting impact on not just the city of Chicago, but the entire state.
Fuck Charlie KIRK. Fuck Charlie KIRK. Racist bastard. Racist bastard. Piss on your ashes. Piss on your ashes. Spit on your grave. Your slaves. I'll never be a slave. Fuck Charlie KIRK. Fuck Charlie KIRK. Fuck Charlie KIRK. Fuck Charlie KIRK. Racist bastard. Racist bastard. Piss on your ashes. Piss on your ashes. Piss on your ashes.
And that's how I feel about it. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I didn't even put the cash out and all that across the screen. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me. Join me again. This is Frank Blanton. I'm not a slave. And what that guy say, hold on a minute, let me get back on it.
Spit on your grave. I'll never be a slave. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Fuck Charlie Kirk. Racist bastard. Racist bastard. Piss on your asses.
Good night. Everything's black.